Can you make a lure out of Legos? Alright, let's do this thing. Hey guys, what is going on? Brendan Miller here, back with another episode of the Lure Challenge. For those of you that have not watched this show before, this is basically where I take random, everyday items and try to make lures out of them, and in turn try to catch fish with them. Today, we are going to be doing Legos. Now, I've gotten a ton of requests to make a lure out of Legos, so today, we are going to do just that. Let's go to the workshop. So guys, I thought about it for a little bit and I decided that the lure I will be making out of Legos will be a topwater lure because Legos are fairly buoyant and this is probably going to be the easiest, most effective lure I can make. So I rummaged through a box of old Legos till I found some round Lego pieces. I put a couple of these together and I had the basic shape of my bait. I also added a little orange clear thing to the back to kind of act as a tail. Now, most of these pieces have holes through them, so this worked out really well for me. I was able to thread a piece of wire through the holes to create 3 loops, one in the front, one in the middle, and one in the back. Now, these will be the places where I will be attaching my hooks. Next, I sealed the Legos with some PVC cement to keep them all together and to keep it more buoyant. Now, originally I thought about putting paint on this bait, but I decided not to because I thought that would kind of take away from the challenge. I mean, again, this is a challenge to see if we can catch fish with Legos, and if I painted over the Legos, it would pretty much resemble another plastic bait like the one you can go buy from the store. So I left the paint off of it and stuck with this very interesting color scheme. We have some orange, some blue, and some gray. Definitely a unique color combination. I hope we catch some fish with it. And guys, that is pretty much it. This was actually one of the more simpler builds I did, partly because I wanted to keep this lure as minimalistic as I could to keep the original Lego shape and design. So with that being said, let's jump over to the pond and see if we can catch some fish. Alright, I'm just going to start off throwing this bait close to the shore. I saw a bass swirl out here a while ago. And I'm just going to fish this bait. It's got a very interesting action. Kind of like a cross between a topwater and a walking bait. It kind of dips under the surface though, which is kind of weird, but whatever. My bait is sinking. That's not good. It's not floating very good. Now it's sinking. Come on, guys. Fish. Fish on the Lego lure. Yes. Boom! I did it! I did it! Guys, there you go. Look at that. On the Lego lure. Caught a fish. I was getting really concerned. I honestly thought I was not gonna be able to catch a fish, but this guy whaled it really hard. I got it caught in a piece of weeds, and I gave it a couple extra pops, and he whaled it. That is so cool. So cool. I did not think that this weird lure would in fact catch me a bass. Really awesome. Not a huge bass, but I'll take him. Beautiful fish. Absolutely crushed my Lego lure. Woo! Man, that was a rush. It was totally unexpected. It was super cool. What's kind of awkward is like sometimes I'll be fishing and the homeowners come up to you like, hey man, what are you doing? What are you fishing with? What are you throwing? I'm like, oh, I'm just fishing with a lure made out of Legos. Or a lure made out of a Sharpie. And they kind of give me this weird look like, got him. Another one on the Lego lure. Man, he hit it like a ton of bricks. Ooh. Did you guys see that? That was an insane blow up, if I do so myself. Whoa, hey bud, chill. Boom! Another bass, guys, on the Lego lure. It's got a little bit of sludge on it, but barely hooked him. But he hit that thing like a ton of bricks. Scared the woolies out of me. That's the second fish on this ridiculous, stupid lure. That's kind of crazy. If only that fish knew what that lure was made out of, I think he'd be a little bit embarrassed. We're rolling on the GoPro now because the main camera's SD card is filled up. We're on. Third fish, guys. Woo! That, my friends, is the third fish on the Lego lure. Under the right circumstances, this Lego lure works. Now guys, going into the fishing part of this video, I was extremely skeptic about this bait. And after about 10 minutes of fishing with it, I became even more skeptic because the bait was slowly starting to sink. It didn't really have the greatest walking action. I kind of had to give it my own action. I basically had to keep my rod up high and pop the bait really, really fast. Otherwise, it would kind of sink below the surface and the action would kind of be muddled. Also, I dropped one of my GoPros in the water and it did not have the waterproof back on it, so that GoPro is sitting in rice right now. Fingers crossed, I hope it makes it. So that added on to the fact that I wasn't catching fish. I was kind of thinking that this video was going to be a bust, but I stuck it out and kept fishing, and as you saw, I was able to catch 3 fish. So guys, I guess you could say that this bait indeed does catch fish, but keep in mind, I am fishing in some pretty ideal conditions. I'm fishing a small body of water that has the fish relatively concentrated, and these fish are fairly aggressive and hungry. But that being said, I was indeed able to catch fish with Legos, and that is what this challenge is all about. Guys, be sure to check out the last 2 videos I did. We have 5 fishing hacks up here, some tips and tricks that are going to help you in the near fishing future, and I also have this video right here where I fall into a creek and severely injure my arm. Seriously, my arm was sore for like 3 or 4 days afterwards. Also guys, if you want to see more videos, be sure to subscribe right here. And if you want to see more lure challenge videos, leave your suggestions in the comments below. Thanks guys for watching, and as always, stay hooked.